Hi, I'm Dr. Lynch, and I'm going to explain our functional testing for health now. And typically, this is the type of testing that we do with patients who've come in with chronic conditions and, they're real train wrecks. Maybe they've been told they have fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue. Maybe they're looking to try to get more energy or improve their digestion, or they've got other chronic issues that they need addressed. And they'll come in, and we always explain to people that everybody is unique and they have their own biochemistry and genetics, which plays a big part in how they're doing and how their health is. And many times these same people come in and they go, well, I've already had blood tests and everything came back and was normal, or nothing really stood out to them. And the reason is because they're not applying the optimal ranges to the blood test. You see, when you go and let's say you go to LabCorp and they do a blood test for you, those technicians take hundreds of thousands of blood samples. They record them and they'll push off the top 5% and the bottom 5%, and they'll say, this is the reference range. Anything outside of that is pathological. There's something wrong there. But what the functional optimal range does is it takes the center part of that bell curve and it takes the top sweet spot and it says, this is really where it should be. So if you're looking at your blood test, you want to know, am I in that sweet spot and everything really is okay? Or am I trending low? Am I headed in a certain direction, one way or the other? Because that's really important. Those are the information, those are the clues that we need to start building a case and saying, this makes sense now. I understand what I'm seeing and I understand why. Another issue with blood tests that I frequently see is patients will bring in a panel that somebody did for them and they'll say, hey, what do you think of this? And I'll look at it and I'll go, there's not enough markers here. It's not a full panel. Oftentimes, full panels give you the information you need to really decide on what the problem is. If you only come in, you've only got a couple markers, there are not enough clues there to figure out what's wrong. And if you want me to help you become your health detective and really look into what's going on with you, we need more information. We just do. So what we're really trying to do is help you get your owner's manual so that we know how we can help. So we're going to look at those optimal ranges. We're going to request full panels so that we can see that. We're also going to consider food sensitivities. Now, most people understand allergies, right? If you have a peanut allergy, it's an IgE reaction. Anaphylaxis starts almost immediately after the body gets exposed to the peanut or whatever the allergen is in that situation. What I'm referring to is an IgG or an IgA. It's a delayed food response, which can happen hours to days after exposure to something. And maybe you've been exposed to this over and over and over, and it's something like wheat or dairy or soy, or the list goes on as far as what you could be sensitive to. Those are the types of things that increase inflammation and decrease how well your body works. Most people feel like they've got a really good diet. I hear that all the time. Oh, I've got a really good diet. I don't understand what that means. I frequently see people buying stuff in the store and I can tell they're spending extra money on that because they think it's good. Now, whether or not it's good for them, well, that has to do with whether or not they're sensitive to it. And maybe they're not sensitive to it, but it actually causes so much energy drain on their body when they eat it that they don't get any net energy from it. So you may not have an allergy or sensitivity to it, but it may be something that's actually a negative in your health picture. And we can help you determine those things. We can also run a genetic panel if we think that would benefit you. Basically, your genetics are you've got 23 chromosomes from mom, 23 chromosomes from dad. You zip those together, that's your DNA. That's your cards that you were dealt with that now your environment, your diet, your lifestyle is all going to determine which of those traits are being expressed and which ones are not. So that's why it's important to know that. We may look at muscle response testing as another way of determining what's working and what's not. Basically seeing if something gives us a strength response or a weakened response to your body when it gets exposed to it. So all those things come together to make up what we consider your owner's manual. And I think that's important because not only are we looking at you right now in time and saying, what do we need to do to help you get well? But this is the information that you're going to need to have to go forward so that even after you're done working with us, you're going to know what it takes to get you well and keep you well. And I think that's the beauty of our functional health testing and getting your owner's manual. I look forward to helping you.